Hey, 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 left. Hey, they've been saying that marriage is about compromise, right?
That's what they say.
Everybody knows when you're in a marriage, you have to give up something, right?
That's what they say.
Especially when you get married. So, happy house, happy spouse, right?
Yep. Happy wife.
Happy life.
I know you don't.
All right. what goes with the happy husband? I don't know. We just happy house, happy spouse. All that's wrong. 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 And before I say wrong again, let me just take a sip. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what they say. It's been said over and over again that in order to have a happy marriage or a successful marriage, that you got to learn how to compromise.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to compromise. That's what they say. But I don't know if that's really true.
Do y'all believe that?
Do y'all think you got to learn how to compromise?
You got to give up something, right? In marriage. Put it in the chat as we continue on, man. Go ahead.
Well, that's not what we've experienced. Yeah. We did believe that at first, but in our 11 years of marriage, we have really learned that compromise actually causes a little bit more complication.
Causes more complications. Yeah. But guess what, y'all? It's Saturday.
It is.
All right. Saturday. It's Saturday. So thank y'all for joining. And I'm Linwood.
And I am Danae. Yes. Welcome. And we really just created this space just to talk through some of the issues that we know couples are struggling with, because marriage is under attack, y'all.
It really is.
They are.
It really is.
And we just wanted to create this space to help Christian couples just align their marriage back to God's design. Because we know that when you make God the biggest part of your life together,
the center of it.
You won't do life apart from each other.
Never, ever again.
That's what we are here to help y'all with today. It is Saturday, and we are talking about it today. Compromise. But before we get started, real quick, y'all, can y'all just go ahead and just hit the like button?
Yes.
Make sure y'all subscribe because we're coming back each week, and we want y'all here
same time,
joining us for Saturdays.
Yes.
11 a.m. Central, 12 o'clock Eastern. So make sure you hit the notification so that you will be reminded, because we want y'all here with us.
Absolutely.
Saturday.
Hey, like you started out. You know what I mean? Together, you start out on dates.
Yep.
And that make every day a date day. And so
welcome,
thank you.
Welcome. Hey, guys.
This is going to be a multi-date instead of double date with all y'all on today. So I'm loving it, man. Let's go.
All right. So compromise. What does that mean to you when you hear the word compromise? And what does it mean to y'all? When you hear the word compromise, what does that mean to you? Put it in the comments. Put it in the chat.
The first thing I think about is giving up something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a loss for me.
Yeah.
Or, but I really want to know what the definition is before we start going into
Well, when I think of compromise too, I think of kind of like that tit for tat thing. Because it's like, well, if I'm giving it up this time, then they should give it up next time. So it's always that.
You're only giving up so you can get something later?
Yeah.
So I'll do this so I can get that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right, I get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's that whole compromise thing, because that's the problem. Like, I know earlier in our marriage, that was the conditioning that we had, that in order to have this, to get what you need or to have this successful marriage, you have to compromise. You have to give up something that you really want.
Yeah. And Jeremy says,
don't
let me
giving for the purpose of something. We're missing the rest of your comment, Jeremy, but we're gonna get back to that. Thank you. Good to see you, bro.
Good seeing you, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, so that whole thing. And then you get resentful.
Absolutely.
You get resentful because sometimes you don't get what you want, or sometimes your spouse, when it's their turn, they don't take their turn and they still don't give up, and you're always the one. Dang, I got to give up again. I got to give up again.
I gave up my ball game. I gave up my golf game. I gave up my, you know what I mean? So we can go do all this stuff and do something. It's like, well, when are we going to get to do what I want to do?
Yeah.
Right. And then it becomes more of a selfish thing, a self-centeredness.
It does.
So
it does.
Yep.
Because you're looking at it now through the lens of loss.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at looking at it through the lens of loss, again, it causes more complications than solutions.
And then that's really not. So so I'm gonna be transparent right here.
Okay.
And talk about one of my compromise things. Is that all right?
That's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's go. Talk about it.
For me, I promised you in the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna be the best me for you.
You did say that.
Right?
Yes.
But every time I got stressed, I would eat.
Stress eat.
I stress eat.
That little seafood problem kick in.
That seafood. I see it. You know what I mean? And so I compromised my health. I really did. I was telling you I wanted to be the best me, but at the same time, I got high blood pressure. I got I wasn't pre-diabetes. I was diabetic. Yeah. So what else? I was really stressed. I was really stressed. All of those things compromised my health.
It did.
Right. Mentally, spiritually, physically. But I'm telling you, I want to give you the best.
Yeah.
And then when you want to go walk, I'm like, well, not today.
Yeah.
My back ache.
Yeah.
My knees ache. Why?
My neck.
Yeah.
My back.
My neck and my back. You know what I mean? All that stuff.
Yeah.
And all it was sometimes is just sharing together.
Yeah.
And so how am I going to be the best me?
Yeah.
And I can't even be me.
Yes.
Be the full me. So that was my compromise. I compromised my health a lot.
Yeah, you did. Hey, sis.
Hey.
Good to see you, Shantae. Thanks for joining us today. Yes.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
I wouldn't give up my burgers.
You wouldn't give up your burgers. So you're going into what I want to talk to y'all about is because, we as we were talking through this, we realized that there were at least 3 complications that compromise brings. And the first one is loss.
Danae?
Yep.
You know it's Danae.
Yeah. Hey, girl. Hey, good to see y'all.
Good seeing y'all.
But the first one is loss.
Yeah.
That's the first complication.
It is.
That it brings because you always feel like you're losing. You always feel like you're giving up something, right? So I remember when talking about going back to the health because you didn't want to give up the comfort of the food.
I'm a grown man.
That's what you said in the beginning, but we learned to change that.
I'm a grown man.
Have a conversation about that.
Yeah, we'll do that one day too. Yeah.
Yep. So you feeling lost. Another one is when, I'm going to give my example. The second complication is it keeps you focused more on the me instead of the we of the marriage.
That's good.
And that came up when we first were married. And, I was doing tattoos at the time. And I used to stay late at the shop, doing all the other things. But once we got married, I had to kind of change my lifestyle a little bit. And I was like, well, dang, this is what I do. This is, this is my life. This is my how I make my money. This is how I have been living my life I was 37 years when we got married. So I'm like, again, I'm a grown woman.
You're a grown woman.
Yeah. And so it's like there were things that I didn't really feel like I was wanting to give up. I just wanted to make sure I still got what I wanted and needed because this is a business that I built. This is a lifestyle I built. And so I was like, just focused on what I wanted to get and what I needed out of my business and thing of doing tattoos.
Your business, your career.
I was focused more on me instead of on the we that we were trying to build together. Which that's
goes
the
back to that
one.
Self-centeredness sometimes.
What's up, brother-in-law? Good morning.
Hey, Special K. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
And Deliver Fearless.
Yep, that's right, girl. Focus on the we.
That's it.
We gotta focus on the we of marriage, absolutely, and not so much the me. And so another one is this is the third one, y'all. Yeah. The complication is that compromise keeps you keeping score.
Absolutely. That goes back to the tit for tat thing.
Exactly.
Because if I'm gonna get something, if I give up going out being with the boys and I'm gonna hang with you and the family or whatever the case may be, then next Saturday or next opportunity in my free time, I'm expecting that I can go and hang out, right?
Yep. That's when those little unspoken expectations kick in.
Yeah. I'm assuming.
But you ain't saying it.
I ain't saying it.
You definitely
it's all in my mind. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Again, it's still self-seeking and it's preservation. I'm gonna preserve what I want to do, but I'm gonna do this for you in return.
That's it.
Because I'm gonna twist the word and say, you give, you're gonna receive.
Yep.
But I really won't receive, and then I'm gonna give.
Yeah.
This is why I'm giving.
Yep.
Because I'm in expectation.
And then what happens when you don't get it?
Oh, then I get
resentment.
Start to pound. Yeah.
Man, that resentment. And
pouting.
That's what the enemy
resentment
does,
is pouting because I'm playing that story over and over again. I should have got this. I should have did this. They should have done that. My job should have did this. My church should have done this. My organization. Everything is outside. The government
did this.
Because I did what I said.
All of that. And that's what the enemy does. He wants to keep that resentment just percolating like under the surface all the time. And it's just simmering there. And man, that kind of stuff, it keeps us divided.
Yeah.
It keeps us divided, y'all. Y'all know the enemy wants to come and he kind of keep us divided and keep that division going. But we're going to fight against that today because we're going to teach y'all and share with y'all something different.
Yes.
That we did concerning compromise. But before we get into that, go ahead.
The definition, baby. You got to give them the definition of compromise.
That's what I wanted to get to. So, because I had to look it up. I had to go back because, we've changed that mindset for so long now. I had to remind myself and go back to what are people actually thinking about when they think about compromise. So, this is the definition according to Webster himself.
Let me see that.
It's a way of reaching an agreement in which each person gives up something that was wanted in order to end a dispute.
So that kind of feeds into
that's
what we were talking about.
What we were saying. Yes, you're giving up something in order to feed it. Another one.
Okay.
It's a way of finding a middle ground between two people's differing wants or needs where both individuals make concessions to reach a solution that satisfies both parties and respects each other's perspectives to maintain harmony within the relationship.
Okay. Now, I'm still got to give up ground.
You still got to give up.
I can't stand my ground.
You can't stand your ground. You got to get on
according
the
to the
middle ground.
The middle ground?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
What if it's sinking sand?
Hey, we finna talk about that.
Okay. All right. Because even that middle ground sometimes is like, I didn't want to come off of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'm still losing. After 10 years, 11 years, I'm still giving you what you want and meeting you in the middle ground or whatever, how many years or whether it's months.
Yeah.
Okay. This is supposed to happen in marriage. You know what I mean? But
meet me in the middle. Yeah.
Money in the middle.
Give up something. Where's she at?
In the middle. Money in the middle. See? Telling our age.
I'm telling you.
Let hip hop to our head. Go ahead.
So you like that definition? Do you, Janae? We're going to see. We might give you a different definition by the time this is all said and done.
Absolutely.
So what did we do different? What did we do different so that we would never have to compromise in our marriage again?
You ready to give it to me?
We're going to talk about it. But first, y'all, it's time. We got to give them the principle.
It's alignment time. It's alignment time.
It's alignment time, y'all.
Right,
so we're going to give you a word that y'all can stand on. And this is actually the word that changed.
I'm here for comic relief, y'all. I really am.
He makes me laugh.
Okay, go ahead.
But this is the word that really helped us transform our perspective about compromise. And it's coming out of Amos 7:7-8. And it says,
gotta go to the word.
Then he showed me another vision. I saw the Lord standing beside a wall that had been built using a plumb line. And he was using a plumb line to see if it was still straight. And the Lord said to me, meaning Amos, what do you see?
Linwood,
what do you see? Danae, what do you see? Janaea, what do you see? Chris, what do you see? Jeremy, what do you see? Shantae, what do you see?
Special care.
And he answered, a plumb line.
A plumb line. I see
a plumb line. Yeah. And the Lord said, I will test my people with this plumb line, and I will no longer ignore all their sins. So
what did that say to me?
Let's talk about it. The first thing he did was he gave Amos a vision.
A vision. What do I see?
It's the vision. God is giving you a vision for your marriage. He has given you a vision for your life. And if you don't feel like he's giving you a vision, then you need to go talk to him, because he has one for you. Absolutely. He has a vision for your marriage. He has a vision for you personally, for your life as well. So he gives us a vision first. And then he said that he had a plumb line. What's a plumb line, babe? Tell the people about a plumb line.
Plumb line, it's got a weight, right, and a string. And at the end of the weight is a point, and it's weighted because it gives you the 90 degrees, right? Or the straight line from which you start to build. You see any houses built on 45 degrees?
Little catawampus.
Or whatever the case may be. So it's a standard. It's on which, okay, I got this. So if I have 90, 90, 90, even if I want to build a roundhouse, I put all 4 90s together and I got 360 degrees. So
it's a standard.
It's a standard.
It's a standard
of alignment.
So he's giving you a vision and he's giving you a standard. And he says that he was using the plumb line or the standard to see if it was still straight. So what is the it we're talking about today?
For me, it's the promise.
It's our marriage.
It's our marriage. It's the promise of marriage. It's the covenant of marriage.
Yes.
It's the God's ideal idea.
That's right.
Of us being a helpmeet and being a better reflection of him.
Absolutely. So anything that you're building, and for us today, we're talking about our marriages, y'all. That marriage that we're building, he's given us a vision. He's given us the standard by which to build it on. And he's going to use this standard to make sure it's straight. Y'all straight?
Straight like
straight today.
Straight like a street.
Go to the street, call it straight. That's right, Shantae. A vision and a standard. Yes, ma'am. And so this vision, what is the vision that God's giving you for your marriage? And what is this standard that y'all, are you talking about meeting at middle ground? What is this standard that y'all are meeting at in order to get to the vision? Okay. That's the question.
You brought in that middle ground again.
Yep.
Which is like, I don't want to be average.
Okay.
So that's the middle, right? And that's the thing that I don't want to kind of move there, because we got a great marriage. Or I'm a great man, or you're a great woman. Why do we need to go and be average or the middle? And he's not calling us to that. He's calling us to something higher. Standard. You know what I mean? The higher, the solid ground.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We build upon him. We build upon the word. We build upon the truth. We build upon his spirit. Hope, love, faith, hope, love, faith, hope, love, faith, hope, love. Those are the things I continue to build on. Yep. So, Lord, you said. Yeah. But I can't worry about what Craig said. I can't worry about what Gus said. I can't worry about them with Senior sometime. Yeah. What he said. What did the word say?
What did the word say? So that's what we did differently. Instead of,
I can't even do what Adam did.
Please don't do what Adam did.
This woman you gave me is the reason why I'm having a problem. I can't even do what Adam said. Not Adam, but Abraham. Right? Tell him that you my sister.
Don't be lying.
You know what I mean? Compromising.
Yeah.
You hear the compromise and the not standing up in the standard is I'm gonna blame everything else.
To get what I want.
Get to the middle ground, or to get over, or to get what I want. Because right now I'm trying to preserve myself, self-preservation.
Yep.
In Abraham.
You start manufacturing.
Yeah. Even
start
Moses.
Manipulating.
Yeah. Even Moses, you know what I mean? He got so frustrated. God tell him to do something. Boom! I'm gonna spike the rock. He smoked the rock.
Yeah.
Instead of speak to the rock. So it's like all those things are compromising.
Yes.
God say do this, and then we'll let things outside of us. This flesh starts to like, well, what they gonna say? What they gonna think? I might lose my job.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that, and then you compromise.
Yeah.
And then that's not what God is. My God is like, trust me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Align with me.
Yeah.
Seek me first. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
So
got excited.
So I was talking to someone the other day, and because I was just, saying, have you ever felt like you had this, compromise in your relationship, whatever? And they were like, well, the other day we were in the car, and I wanted to listen to my Apple, to the music off of my phone. I wanted to connect my phone to the Apple Play through the car, and her boyfriend was like, well, there's something that I want to listen to right now. So can you wait, and we'll listen to you'll connect your phone later, but right now I really need to listen to what I'm listening to now. And she was like, okay, that's cool. I said, so she was like, yeah, that was compromise. I said, so why did you decide to not connect your phone instead of pushing through and being like, well, I want to connect it now. I want to listen to now. I said, what kept you from going after what you wanted? Why did you, quote unquote, give up what you desired in the moment? And she was like, because I wanted us to have a good day. They were out on the date. They were having fun. It was a peaceful day. She was like, I wanted us to continue to have a good day and have peace. And I said, that's it right there.
Right there.
That's the perspective shift. Instead of focusing on what you're trying to get out of it in the moment or what you need to give up in order to maybe get something later, you have to go to the higher standard. You have to shift the perspective in the direction of partnership instead of your personal preference in the moment. You have to come to the promise.
Come to the promise, y'all.
Come to the promise of what's higher. Come to the promise of that standard. And that is the biggest shift we made. Yeah. Instead of thinking compromise, we went back to the root. Went back to what God's design of the word compromise actually meant. So even that word itself, if you go back to the root, calm means together. Yeah. And then the promise part, it comes from, hold on, I got to remember what that word was. Prometeer. That was the original meaning. And it means to foretell, to assure beforehand, or to promise. So you're actually coming together on a promise or something that God told you that beforehand that would happen, a promise of good, and you're coming together on that. So
my wife, as y'all can see, looks up a lot of stuff. But let me tell you from my heart, right? From my heart, I'm like, Lord, all this stuff. Now I'm praying this. I'm like, all this stuff, your promises. You know what I mean? I'm hearing this, promises and all this other stuff. And it's like, I need that. And the Holy Spirit truly said, okay, well, come to the promises. Come to the promise.
You really literally looked at the word and it says, come to the promise.
Come to the promise. And so if I started looking for the promises, I started looking for, and God will get, you seek, you ask, you knock, he will do it. Like you say, the word says he will freely give you the knowledge, right? He wants to give it to you. So if I don't believe in the promises, I don't believe in the principles, then Lord, help my unbelief.
Mm-hmm.
Help my unbelief. I got this down, but I need this.
Yes.
So help my unbelief. Mm-hmm. Even when Jesus said, all you got to do is believe, he said, I do believe, but help my unbelief.
Yeah.
So coming to that standard and continually like, okay, I have a question, ask, right? I have a question, Lord. You said that lean not into my own understanding, but in all my ways, acknowledge you, and you shall direct my path. You will make my pathway straight. Mm-hmm. You are a lamp to my feet and a light unto my path. Mm-hmm. I got the vision. I see the light up here. Oh, but I don't see the next step. Mm-hmm. So, like Michael Jackson, I need to see that light up. Boop. And if he just give you one boop, then that's the step.
Yeah.
Then stand above all else. Stand.
On the standard.
On the standard. The solid ground.
Yes.
The solid rock on which I stand. Mm-hmm. Be still and know that he got it all. You know what I mean? So
how did that perspective shift change it with your eating?
For my eating.
In order to come to the promise instead of compromising.
And I have to give credit to Danae for this.
Okay.
Because when we were in this training, he gave these 3 P's, right? Mm-hmm. And he said it was principle, it was preference, and then it was prudence, which is wisdom. I felt like I had the prudence, right? I felt like I could go to the promise or the principle, right, of God.
Okay.
But I didn't want to give up my preferences.
Yeah.
So my preferences came before the prudence or the principle.
Yeah.
So I had to shift the focus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not about me.
Yeah.
Right? I submitted myself. I know I just said a curse word.
Submit.
I submit. You know what I mean? I had to submit. I had to submit unto the Lord. I had to submit unto my wife and really tell the truth. I'm eating, right? So I shift the focus and the arrangement of those three things. Now I'm looking at the promise of the principle of what God said to do.
Yeah.
Then I get the wisdom because I'm asking for the knowledge. I'm asking for help. I'm asking for, Lord, take this away from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I may not sin against you. You know? So I started to hide the word in my heart.
Yeah.
Until my preferences started changing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I would rather go with what you say, Lord. You say you would give. It's because of you I move, breathe, and have my being. I'm not able to move. Why? Because the sugar or whatever I'm doing, you know, is causing the inflammation. It's causing the ache. I do have some physical things that happen to me, but this body can recover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, am I feeding it the right things?
Yeah.
Or am I giving it the things that it's going to continue to give the symptoms of me being hurt, of me needing something? But I need you, Lord. I need what you say. So I shifted.
Yeah. So do y'all ever feel like that? Do you ever feel like sometimes your personal preferences or your self-preservation, you know, takes more or, you know, gets more weight instead of coming to the promise or coming to the agreement with y'all of what y'all are working towards together of the goals? So y'all let us know what are some of your personal preferences that sometimes get in the way when principle or wisdom, prudence should override it.
Yeah. And not the because this body is built for survival.
Yeah.
If something is coming up, hey, we flee.
Yeah.
Or we freeze. Let me be quiet. But will we faith it?
Yeah.
Will we faith it instead of freezing up?
Yeah.
If God says be still and know, I need to, okay, let me put his principle in front of him. You know what I mean? He's God.
Yep.
He knows all. He sees all. He made all.
Yep.
So
Leslie says, come on, perspective shift. Hey, Leslie, good to see you, sis. Yes.
And
this
wasn't supposed to be a how
want to be right.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, and thank God, because he helps our want to become right.
Yeah.
He helps us know what to want to and how to want to. So that's it. That's it, Danae. Yes.
To be right.
Yep.
To be right.
Ooh. But that goes back to Amos, to the word for the day, to our alignment principle is like, he says that I will test you with this plumb line because the self-preservation
to the left,
the perceived loss
to the right,
the self-centeredness,
to lean back,
all of those things are the tests. Yeah, because those are the things that keep us separated. They keep us separated from each other. They keep us separated from God. When we're just focused on just those things. And so even back to, man, I remember when we were when we first had our so for those of you who don't know, we lived full-time in our RV for 2 years, really small space, about 17 feet. And the first couple nights that we were in this RV together, my hubby is a morning person.
Yes, I am.
I wasn't that much of a morning person, but living in the house, it was different because he could come out of the bedroom, go into the kitchen, the living room, do what he needed to do. But in this small space,
pull the door up.
Everything is right next to each other. So the kitchen is literally right next to the bed. So he gets up like 4, butt crack of dawn in the morning. I'm still laying in sleep. He gets up.
You ain't have to tell him I was in my birthday sleep. I wasn't in my butt crack of dawn.
Getting into his music, his word, making coffee, just all these things. And man, that second or third night, I turned over. I was like, you need to learn how to sleep.
Now, mind you, again, I was quiet. I had headphones on.
In his head, he was, but I'm hearing every little noise.
Every little creak. I'm over there lifting the coffee pot all quiet, putting the stuff in. But I don't hear the percolating. Is again not that many feet away from my head. I start making
coffee in my dreams, and I'm like, what is going on here? But going back to the compromise, we had to have a conversation. We had to come to the promise because we had to figure out what adjustments we were going to make in order to come to the promise together. And the promise being we had a desire to get out on this road, to have fun, to enjoy, you know, all of God's creation, to be
come out
together.
And enjoy you all too.
Yes, come out and see our people.
Yeah.
And we just had, that was the higher thing that we needed to come together on, the promise that we needed to come together on. So we had adjustments that we needed to make. So we made adjustments. I got my little sleep mask. I got my little ear plugs. He learned how to, what did you do different, babe?
What I did, first off, when she said it, my first adjustment,
what's up, Tony,
was not to jump in on and say, well, what do you mean? And all this other stuff, you know what I mean? All I did was like, that's different. You know what I mean? Because she ain't never really just got frustrated like that. You know, and quiet as kept, I didn't realize I was frustrated because I knew we were in a small space. I knew we were in a, we had to adjust. But again, going back to what I told y'all, I'm an initiator. Oh, this ain't right. Oh, something is going on. So let's talk about it. I made the adjustment of not right now. It doesn't have to be right now. Right. And if I don't bring it up later, though, because what she really wanted was rest. And if I disturb the rest by, man, I am being quiet. Now we're in the argument.
Don't disturb this groove.
Now we're in the argument. So again, what's the principle? What's the promise? Peace. That's a fruit of the spirit.
That's right.
Right. So I got to be a peacemaker. Because in Matthew it said, blessed are the peacemakers. Right. So I say, okay, that's the principle. The wisdom, the prudence was, this is not a good time to cause a conflict.
Yeah, Janae says, glad you recognize that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes. So it's like, if I know this could go and I don't enjoy my coffee, she doesn't enjoy her rest, and we haven't even got on the road yet. Good. We're still in the driveway. Preparing to rent the house. You know what I mean? So it's like, we can't even get out the driveway. We can't even get started in peace.
That's right.
So it's like, all right, what's the preference? It's not about me. My preference right now is that we keep the peace. She gets her rest. I enjoy my coffee and the music, you know, reading the word, starting the day out right. Stand with you, Lord. Stand in perfect peace. Whose
standing
mind
on the standard
is stayed on him.
That's right.
So going back to the plumb line, what do I see? I see Lord saying, just get this right here. Get this moment right here, right. Keep it in line with what I'm telling you to do. So that's an adjustment.
Yeah. And remember the vision I gave y'all about
getting on this road getting together. On the road and stuff like that.
Yep.
So it aligned with the vision, and it aligned with the standard of us having a covenant of marriage.
It aligns with the alignment principle.
Yep.
Amos 7:7.
That's the alignment principle today. So look it up, y'all.
Yep.
Read it. And it's not just in that. Can I share a little bit more? Okay. You know, I get an oversharing sometimes. In Amos 3:3, it says, how can two walk together except they agree? Now, how are you going to come to agreement to do anything if you don't have honest communication? This kind of bothered me. Oh, I see that. You know what I mean? I was making some noise I didn't realize I was making. I had my headphones on. I'm in kind of my own little thing. I didn't realize a percolating coffee. Yeah. That used to be, you know,
fine in the house.
Way around the corner, couple walls in between the door and all that stuff. But now it's feet within her head. She hears it all.
Yeah.
You don't think about those things. So look at what's different in your environment that is causing the issue. And it's not that person. Don't make it adversarial.
Focus on the problem, not the person. Yeah.
You know, that's it.
Yep. So. And I mean, that's one of the other things that we did. Instead of focusing it or looking at it through the lens of loss, we looked at it more through the lens of gain.
Yes.
So what are you gaining? Instead of like, man, well, I'm losing this because I'm giving up. I'm always giving up. When you're coming to the promise, focus on what you're gaining instead.
The biggest thing I gained.
What did you gain?
Is peace.
Yeah.
That's
a big good thing to gain in your relationship, in your marriage.
Huge. And I got this shirt on, right? That Chris pointed out about husband. I got this from my mother-in-law, right? And I'm grateful that my mother-in-law saw the peace and the standard, right? That, oh, they really are serious about marriage. And she bought me a shirt and gave me this says about the husband. Man, I'm proud of this shirt. Y'all just don't know. It's not the shirt. It means
so much. Yeah.
It's not the shirt. It's the standard my mother-in-law saw. And even when I'm taking away her daughter,
You're not taking me away.
Well, I'm just saying she had to compromise.
I had to leave. She felt and leave.
Like, you know what I mean? She now shift the perspective of that person that is asking you, because my wife is loved by many, and she's definitely loved by her mama, right? But her husband, once he got back to his first love, this was my first love. Yeah. My first neighbor that I'm supposed to love with all my heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love myself and my neighbor.
That's right.
She's my first neighbor. So if I'm responsible for this, if I'm committed to this, if I'm in line with this, and this is the promise, this is the standard of this covenant of marriage, then I have to have integrity.
That's right.
And she saw what I stood on, the solid ground,
the
Christ, the word, presenting my wife faultless, right? All of that stuff, giving her love, not my love, but the best way, because that was a prayer. Lord, in and of myself, I can't do it, but love her through me. And that's it.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
So flipping the focus.
See, this is what we do on dates. Y'all, hey, this is a double date. Come on, this is a multi-date. Come give us some stuff for y'all date too.
Give your spouse some love today.
Give them some,
But just flip the focus, y'all. Flip the focus
Adjust
to what you're gaining instead of what you're losing.
And you'll never have to compromise as the world. And that thought that comes up, you got to give up something.
Right.
Lord, what am I gaining?
What are we gaining? Yes. What is the promise?
What's the return on investment?
That y'all are gaining together instead of, hey, we're both giving up something. Hey, we're gaining traction on the things that we're moving forward to, the goals that we say we wanted to have, the type of marriage that we say we wanted to have, the type of love that we want to have and display for others around us. So those are the things that you can gain traction on and focus on when it comes to coming to the promise instead of compromising. So that's the biggest thing. And more than anything else, Jesus modeled it for us, y'all. Jesus didn't compromise on nothing. He ain't stand on no middle ground. Yeah. He did not. But what he did do is he laid down his life for us, y'all. Not for the sake of pain, not for the sake of anything else, but the higher principle, the higher promise, the higher purpose of bringing us into right relationship with God. So even Jesus did. He modeled it for us.
That's it.
So
that's the takeaways.
Don't keep score.
Give us some more takeaways,
Ooh,
Tony.
We
Tony
like
says,
to keep score, don't we?
Don't keep score. Jeremy says, flip the focus.
That tip for tat.
Right? Give us some more, y'all. Give us some more.
Yeah, give us some of y'all takeaways today.
The vision and standard. That God and Jesus is the solid ground and foundation on what everything we build.
That's right.
So
while y'all are putting the takeaways in the chat,
don't forget to like, subscribe,
like
and notify, because come on back to Saturday. We like being here with
But we're excited too, y'all, because we have a free masterclass coming up on April 12th.
Absolutely.
And we pinned the link for the registration at the top of the comments, and y'all can go in there and register. It's a complimentary class, and we're actually going to be sharing some of the stuff we talked about today. Yes. How do you come to the promise? What is the promise that y'all have together in your marriage? So we're going to be talking through some of the 4 main areas that cause misalignment in your marriage. So we're going to be talking through how to help you build out your own 4-corner framework, which is how you communicate through those 4 areas that cause miscommunication. So
now, mind you, this first class will be in the 190 degrees that we talked about.
Yeah.
Right. And we'll share more about that. Register, and it will be,
Yep, April 12th.
Yeah,
it's going to be a Saturday.
And it is virtual.
And it is virtual. So, yeah. So you don't
just like you joining us now.
That's right.
Join us on
another
April.
Saturday.
Yeah. And we got a bonus that's coming up because we've been invited to
Hey, finally free.
Hey, finally free.
Yeah.
That we're going to be on the board along with a couple other couples, sharing, and we'll share that link once we get it.
Yeah.
It's on April 5th.
Yeah. So you'll probably be getting a 2-for-1.
Yes.
So y'all make sure y'all go in there and click the link in the top of the comments. It's pinned so y'all can register for our free masterclass.
We are here. We are here to keep these marriages together.
Yeah.
They're on attack and we are on the battlefield.
And we're going to stand. We're going to stand. We're going to teach y'all how to create committed, consistent check-ins with your spouse, so y'all can continue to stay on one accord and keep your marriage aligned to God's design. So, what else, babe?
What was the chord? Not discord.
Not discord.
No. Bunk. We want you to be on one accord.
All right. Finally free. She says, compromise keeps you keeping score. Yes, it does. So one of those complications. God gives us the vision and the standard. Yes, ma'am. Know what that vision is and stand on the standard. Thank you. Finally free. We appreciate you, sis.
That Jeremy brought up, flip the focus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're at the optometrist. He's like, you see this? When by now? You see now? So sometimes we have to flip the focus to, okay, this was about preference. So what's the prudence? What's the promise? You know what I mean? Do I go by the promise of what God said? Or do I go by my preference? That ain't lead me nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Lord, I see what you're saying. That's the vision. Now give me the steps to do it.
Yes.
Because he's a lamp
unto our feet.
Our feet. So you got to go with that. That's it.
Absolutely.
I'm loving this. Thank y'all for coming and share.
Yeah.
We went over a little bit. And
hit that notification button too, because next week, what are we talking about next week, y'all?
Time will fix it.
Time. Does it really though?
Does it really?
You got to come back next week to find out.
Look, I might have to bring something special on the date next Saturday. Okay. And remember, y'all, make every day a date day.
Every day.
Yeah. We love y'all. We'll talk to y'all later.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all joining us.
Peace.
See y'all next Saturday.
Take care. Enjoy your weekend.